West Side. Jake Boswell is at the scene with more on what we're learning this morning and when we could hear from authorities coming up later today. Jake.
Yeah, Gretchen, like you just brought up there, we're expected to hear from authorities within the next half hour. We're still here learning more at the scene, though, on Stinson Avenue at the corner of James Avenue. We know there was an officer-involved shooting in the early morning hours of today or the overnight hours late last night. We were able to confirm earlier this morning, by the way, when talking to a neighbor, that he was able to hear at least one gunshot. That neighbor living about 3 houses down from where you see me right now. Now that the sun is up here on Stinson Avenue, though, we can see the leftovers from this scene ourselves. Unfortunately, the damage to this home, we can confirm at least one gunshot ourselves now with our own eyes. If you look at the front windows of this home, you can see multiple bullet holes, not only in the glass, but also in the woodworking of this house. The sun really revealing exactly what may have happened here just a few hours ago. Now, what we know from law enforcement at this point is around 11 p.m. last night, authorities were called to this scene based on the report of a possible kidnapping. Once law enforcement arrived, Indiana State Police, as a matter of fact, were the first to arrive. Then Evansville Police arrived. There was an officer-involved shooting. Now, we don't know exactly what time this took place, whether it was at the very final hours of Tuesday night or the early morning hours of this Wednesday, but we do know that an officer-involved shooting took place. And then it was just a couple hours ago, we saw with our own eyes the coroner here at this scene. Now, this scene also is extensive. The home we just showed you with the bullet holes in the front of it and in the glass obviously has been the focus from police. When we were here a couple hours ago before the sun rose, police were still at this scene, combing through evidence, collecting evidence on the floor in this home and inside the front room of this house. But also a couple houses over, we're showing you right now, you can see that's marked off by crime scene tape as well. Police have not told us necessarily why this scene is so wide and so big. We actually had a car try to drive under this crime scene tape earlier, and there are about 4 or 5 Evansville police officers out here today asking that car to turn around because this scene is still active. We did notice, though, in the last hour or so, though this scene is active, it's been more about securing this home behind us rather than combing it for evidence. We'll see what happens in the next half hour or so. We are expected to hear from Sergeant Anna Gray with Evansville Police to learn more about exactly who was involved in this overnight and exactly what happened. But as we say, with the sun rising now, it's apparent gunshots were fired. The coroner at the scene, a death investigation in the least. We'll find out more about it here in the next few minutes or so. We'll bring it to you live, hopefully here on the CW7 as it happens. Reporting on the west side of Evansville, Jake Boswell, Eyewitness News.